I'm Stephanie Tan. I'm a medical doctor from the Philippines, but right now I'm studying in Hanyang University as a master's student in global health and development. I've been living in South Korea for more than a year already. I was actually living in Nonsan, so it's kind of like a province of South Korea. With regards to my health, well, I was living in a dormitory then, and we don't really have a kitchen in the dorm. Most of the time I just spent my lunch and dinner eating, microwavable food or something from the convenience store. So I think that's one of the things that really changed my diet. Usually back home I eat home cooked meals, but then in the dorm it's the not so healthy ones. It was only about after 6 months that I realized that I feel like I really need to change my diet. That's when I started going to the kitchen. I was diagnosed before with vertigo, and my doctor would said to me that, oh, you should cut back on your sodium intake or like preservative intake because it really affects your ears and your balance. So that's what it's kind of like causing your vertigo. It was a long time ago since it last happened, but when I came here to Korea, it happened again. And when I tried to observe my diet, oh, probably it's because I've been eating, microwavable food with a lot of preservatives, which I didn't really eat back home. So I think that was a trigger for me. I started cooking more so I could control my, the seasonings and everything that I put, like the oil and stuff. And my roommate and I also kind of like made a pact that we would walk 10,000 steps a day. So when we started walking every day, we felt more, more alive. We had more energy. Also, what is noticeable here in Korea is that they have a lot of exercise equipments, especially in the parks. Actually, if you just go around here in our school, you would see one. There's like different equipments for different parts of the body. If you want to exercise your shoulders, your arms, your core, your legs. My favorite machine, because I like walking, I like the kind of like the skywalker thing that goes like that, or the one that kind of helps your waist to be slimmer. It's like kind of this thing. I don't really know what the name of the equipment is, but yeah, I think everyone would feel the change coming from their country to a different country. As for me, because I'm a Filipino, our food is not really that spicy, and we don't really have a lot of fermented food. So when I came here, my diet really changed, and you know how I had to slowly try to adapt eating spicy food. So I would at first try to eat a little bit, but then eventually you would develop that, I don't know, talent to eat very spicy food. Some people would probably have easier time, or some people would have harder time adjusting to that. Some of my friends would always complain to me like, I don't know why, but ever since I came here to Korea, my stomach has been getting easily upset. It's more of like like bloatedness, or like feeling of kind of like there's an acid taste at the back of their throat, or like something that goes up, kind of like reflux. That's one thing. It's the diet. And also I think not only for the spicy food, it's also those who don't really eat meat or would have specific diet, like those who are vegan, or those who are, for example, the Muslims, when they would need halal food. So sometimes the options are very limited. They would really have to make an effort to look for those type of food that would suit their own diet. Here in Korea, there's kind of like that strong culture of drinking alcohol. So it kind of mine changed from occasional to probably more or less once a week or once every 2 weeks. I haven't personally seen anyone having health issues when it came to their alcohol consumption. But we all know that it's really bad to consume a lot of alcohol, and a lot of organizations like the WHO, the CDC, all of the health agencies that we could think of would always have that recommendation for men, for example, do not exceed 2 bottles of beer, for women 1 bottle of beer a day. For us back home, we don't really have that concept of yellow dust. It's the pollution. I don't know where it comes from, but because of that, people would normally wear a mask, even like pre-pandemic. I have the app, the Mise app. So it shows the air quality. But in moments that it's really heavy, the dust is really thick, I don't even need the app to tell me, oh, the situation is bad, because I could already see it, I could already feel it. Whenever my allergies would get triggered, I already know, like, oh, the air quality is bad. Yeah, being a foreigner, probably there's a difference between living in a provincial area and here in Seoul, because Seoul is very open to foreigners. When it comes to getting access to like exercise place, there's a lot of gyms, there's a lot of Pilates centers, there's also a lot of the free equipments, just that you can see in the parks and everything. So accessibility wise, there's not really much a problem. For healthy food like vegetables, fruits, and everything, generally I feel like Korea is a very healthy country. They sell a lot of very healthy food, although they have those microwavable food available. People would rather buy fresh ones, fresh vegetables, fresh fruits. You could actually avail them in several places. There are the small marts and the big marts. I probably would want to go to the market, Shijang, compared to those big supermarkets, because the prices really are different. If you're coming from a tropical country like me, don't expect to have the same kind of vegetable, same kind of fruit that you can get back home. Korea has a lot of mountains, and even just in Seoul, I feel like most of the areas are in a hill. Everywhere you go, it's kind of like a hiking experience. It's really good because also for our elderlies, they would have ample amount of exercise, and since the mountains and the hiking trails are really well developed, I think that it's very good because, as you know, elderlies are very frail and they're easy to get like injuries. So because the trails are very very well made, they're not slippery, and they would always have announcements, for example, like, oh, it's raining, so it might be slippery, we don't allow you to enter, those kinds of things. I think my love for walking is the best one. I felt more fit and healthier when I walk. At the same time, it's not only just affecting myself, but also probably the environment. When I don't use public transportation that would contribute to the fossil fuel. Imagine if people would walk a lot also. There would be less traffic, more people walking, but like less traffic, less gasoline, less everything. When I walk, do not only like see one place. I see a lot of places. I can observe a lot of people. I can see the changes in the environment. So that's what makes it more appealing to me. Exercise, sports, they're actually one of the things that you could do to relieve your stress. So some people would say that, oh, whenever I feel stressed, I would go on a long walk. Stress is very important because we're not just thinking about health in the physical aspect. We also think about, the mental aspect. And that really affects a lot. Because if you're stressed, the way your body reacts also is different, not only in your actions but also in your emotions. So if you are stressed and you're not mentally there, you won't be able to perform as well as you wanted to. I think there would be a lot of stress moving to another country, especially if there's a huge language barrier. If you're the type of person who are not really good at languages, for example, me, I came here to Korea with minimal amount of Korean knowledge. But personally, what I do is I always talk to my friends, call my friends, and would just rant, release all of my pent up emotions and just cry if I need to cry, if I feel like crying. That's one of my kind of like stress busters. I also really like reading and watching movies. So if I have free time, when I feel very much overwhelmed with studies, I would just make time to watch Korean dramas or whatever dramas, English dramas. I don't just stay in my room also. Just what I said, I like walking. Other times I would just go out, play basketball, or like go spend time with my friend, spend time with dogs, like that. I would suggest that foreigners would explore what Korea has to give. For example, for the food, it's not only limited to those that we usually see in dramas. The chicken and beer, the samgyeopsal, or the kimchi jjigae, because there's a lot of options. There's a lot of other Korean dishes that are not spicy also, for those who are not really good with spicy food. And if you have a very specific diet, I would suggest also that if you could look for groups, for example, like Facebook groups or any groups probably from your country, people who have been living here in Korea for quite a while that might have an idea of what is available here. I think it would be nice to join those groups and ask specific questions about where is the nearest mart to buy this kind of food, or if there are any restaurants that are available nearby that is, for example, halal, or that serves this kind of food. Lifestyle wise, if you're not a smoker, it's good to keep it that way. Don't try to be influenced by the people around you. As for alcohol, just always assert yourself also. Tell them that this is your limit, and that beyond this number of bottles, you won't drink anymore. Lastly, because there are a lot of exercise places here, nice places to walk, nice places to jog, just to overall move your body. If you're into going to the gym, try to enroll. And if you need some help, you could just probably ask your friend if you need some translation, if you don't really know much Korean. Explore whatever is there, because there's a lot of options. And because of the technology in Korea, it's just so easy to check wherever they are.